All right, good afternoon, everyone. Out of respect for everyone's time, we try to start on time for these webinars because I know you guys are busy and have lots of work to do. So I want to make sure that we start and end on time so that we are respectful for your time. One of the things that I wanted to mention is these webinars will happen the third Thursday of every month. So make sure you're on the lookout for your emails for the invite for these particular webinars. They will range from all things from how to stuff like this, where it's generating leads or how you can use the right creative to generate leads. In the future, we will also have guests from the Small Business Association and several other special guests. We had a special guest our last webinar. If you did not get a chance to take a look at it, it is recorded. All webinars are recorded. So please make sure you're tuning into those, and hopefully this feedback is valuable. We have also gotten some feedback from some of our businesses as well on things that they want to hear from. So more to come on that as we plan out the rest of 2024 and moving into 2025. So let's go ahead and get started. So this webinar is about how you can use the right creative to generate leads in your marketing strategy. All right, so I wanted to start off with a quote from David Ogilvy, and he says, what really decides consumers to buy or not to buy is the content of your advertising, not its form. So what does that mean? We know in 2024, there are tons of different platforms for business owners to be able to choose from to spend their marketing dollars, right? There's everything from BBB, of course, is one of them. We have a platform, as well as there's some platforms that you've heard about. Of course, Google is the 10-pound gorilla, but there's also like other social media platforms. And to be honest with you, they are coming at such a rapid pace that we cannot keep up. So there are tons of different platforms that you can spend your marketing dollars. But as David says, it really does not matter where you market, but more so the messaging that's in the marketing that you are doing. So we're going to talk about that and how to use creative in order to echo those messages. All right. So even when looking at bbb.org, I have customers to ask me this all the time, and I also have people to say, well, I'm not getting anything from BBB or from my BBB listing on bbb.org. Keep in mind that there are, just in these top 4 categories that I just looked at, for roofing contractors, there are over 1,200 roofing contractors in the Birmingham and surrounding areas. There are 693 general contractors, 597 auto repair dealers, and 478 plumbers. So what does that mean to you as a business owner when you are choosing to advertise or to market on bbb.org? That means you have to do something to set yourself apart from your competition in the marketplace, right? Most of the time, people are coming to bbb.org to vet you and make sure that you are who you say you are and that you have licenses in order to do whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's repairing their roof or doing general contracting work. So there are things that you can do to stand out. As you can see, there are a couple of people that have ads on bbb.org, which of course helps that for you to stand out among the individuals that are there. Then there's also Google, which is what I consider directional advertising, meaning that if a customer has a business in mind, right, they are going to go directly to Google. If they don't have a business in mind and they're in the research stage, they still go directly to Google. Google is kind of like the heart organ, and there are arteries, if you will, such as bbb.org and other platforms that attach to that heart, right? So when individuals go and are looking for a business, they can go to Google to search for that product. However, when you're on social media, it's a little bit different because social media marketing, or when someone is on social media, they may or may not be looking for a particular business or have a business in mind to even do business with. But there are creative ways in which you can advertise to individuals and grab their attention while they are on the social media platform. So I want to talk about what that looks like and some of the things that you can do so that you can stand out. All right. So why is creativity in your marketing? Why is it important? There are 4 reasons why. The first is, one, you want to make sure that you stand out from the crowd, stand out from your competition. So, as I mentioned, there are tons of roofing contractors, auto repair dealers, and such in our area. And if you are in that particular industry, you need to ask yourself, what can you do to make yourself stand out? It also builds emotional connection with your customers. When customers have good experience, they tend to gravitate or come back to that particular industry or that person to do business with again. The third is it helps build brand awareness and loyalty. Of course, you want those repeat customers. If you're in that industry, when you get a roof redone, hopefully you don't have to get it done for another 20 years, but those people can also act as brand ambassadors for you too, meaning that if you did a good job for them, they're more than likely going to tell 2 or 3 of their friends or family members to build that loyalty to your particular company because they were pleased with what you did. And then it also helps you to reach your targeted audience. So those are things that you want to keep in mind when you are using creativity. And we'll walk through some of that and what that looks like in just a minute. All right. So ask yourself, when you are marketing to a particular group of people or to your particular audience, regardless of the platform that you're doing, you really want to ask yourself and ask yourself, if this is coming across in your messaging, why should a consumer, why should a customer choose your business over someone else's, right? We all think that our business is the best and that we do a great job. And hopefully your branding, which we talked about in our last webinar, goes along with that messaging. But we want to make sure that we are conveying the message of why a customer should choose you. And when they are looking at an ad that you're putting out, it should ring those particular things loudly. All right, so here are some creative tips that you can use so that you can stand out among your competition. First, I always tell business owners that they need to know their competition almost to the point that they're studying it. Not that you're in competition with them, well, technically you are, but you want to make sure that you're not duplicating what they're doing or it's different than what their messaging is, so that customers have a different reason why they choose to do business with you. Make sure you're using exclusive offers. I'm here to tell you that offers in ad programs, they work and they work very well. It also helps you as a tracking mechanism to ensure that whatever it is that you're doing or the dollars that you're spending marketing your business, they actually work, right? So without you necessarily having to ask a person every time they call your business, how did you hear about me? I know a lot of business owners try very hard to do that because they want to make sure where they're spending their marketing dollars works. But one way to do that without having to ask that question on every single call is have an exclusive offer when you're marketing on certain platforms, so that way you're able to track it. Because more than likely, if a customer has a coupon code in their hand, they're going to mention that to you before you actually mention it to them. Include expiration dates. This is very important. If a customer feels like they have until the end of time to make a buying decision, they are less likely to to think with urgency at that particular moment. So make sure that when you're advertising on any type of platform that you're adding an expiration date. The offer expires at the end of August can be one, or secure your appointment before the end of 2024. Those are just some good examples. Strong call to action. Make sure that when you're advertising, you're telling the customer what to do. It seems very, very elementary, if you will, but call now, call today, schedule your appointment today. All of those are very strong call to actions. And if you guys have any questions about what those look like or need some help, just always give us a call. We are here as a resource to try to help you navigate through any of these things that we're talking about. Make sure you're using pictures that stand out. If you have work that you've done and you want to show that work, make sure you're using nice, clean, and crisp pictures that people can actually see when they are viewing your ads that are on whatever platform it may be. Landing pages that relate to the offer. You do not want a customer to have to search for different things. If you have an offer, I oftentimes ask individuals to add it to their website if they can. I know sometimes that is easier said than done, but you want to make sure that a person can click to learn more information, whether it's through just a landing page that you built or something very easy and simple, but it needs to have as least friction as possible when the consumer is going from one place to another. Meaning if they're making a phone call or if they're trying to set an appointment, the offer and whatever they're buying needs to be very clear and speak to that messaging. And this is the reason why. I always like to give statistics. This is actually from Forbes magazine. But in 2024, about 71% of all businesses have websites, okay? Not all websites are created equal. Some are, they don't have, they're not as clear as others, but most business owners in today's environment, 71% of those customers have a website in 2024. Users form an opinion about your website within the first 5 seconds. So that is very important. If it's too difficult for them to find information on your website, they are going to bounce off of it very quickly. 40% of users will leave a site if it takes them more than 3 seconds for your website to load. Website users spend about 6.4 seconds focused on a navigation menu, meaning that it needs to be very clear whether it is contact us, or schedule an appointment, or whatever that is. All of that needs to be seamless and very, very clear to the individual that's visiting your website. I can tell you this, I always put myself in the seat of the consumer when I'm looking at stuff. If I get frustrated with things, then likely the consumer is going to get frustrated as well, and they're going to go to somebody else where it's easier for them to do business. This is why all of this is important. Your website actually connects to your marketing strategy, so you want to make sure that that is seamless as possible. The average time spent is about 54 seconds on a website. However, 6 minutes, it extends that time out to 6 minutes if there's a video. So people are more likely to engage with your content if there's a video on your website or associated with your marketing strategy. If you guys have a video on your particular advertising that you're doing. Now I'm going to pause for a second and remind you guys that this is not about me talking the entire time. If you have questions about anything that I am covering or have covered, please feel free to raise your hand in the chat. I have somebody that's monitoring, and they will stop me to make sure that I'm addressing questions as we go. So I just wanted to make sure I said that as well while I take a pause. As far as social media is huge in our environment. It actually captures about 33% of the user's time. if any of you have iPhones, I don't know about Androids, but I know iPhones specifically will tell you how much time you're actually spending on social platforms. And for me, sometimes it can be very scary of how much time I actually spend on social platforms. So with that being said, it is important for business owners, if an individual is spending that much time on social media and on social platforms, then more than likely that is where they should spend their marketing dollars. It just makes sense, right? 4 out of 10 people follow their favorite brands on social media. 37% of people use social media for buying inspirations. Ladies, how many times have you been on social media looking at the pictures of all your cute nieces and nephews that's going to school, and an ad for 60% off at Neiman Marcus pops up? I mean, that stops me in my track right there, and I am ready to click. So those are the type of things when you're marketing to individuals on social platforms that you want to make sure that you are saying something that's going to capture their attention. Because understand, they're not there to necessarily shop, but if it's compelling enough, if the message is compelling enough, then they will stop and seek it out and probably do business with you. 96% of business to consumer marketers say that Facebook is a valuable marketing tool. Let that sink in for a second. That is almost 100% of individuals that was asked about this particular question. Individuals are seeing that Facebook, Instagram is also coupled in that as well, because when you advertise on one, you typically advertise on both. That 96% of marketers think that social media or Facebook is a valuable platform to advertise on. So we're going to play a little game, and the game is called This or That. And I want you guys to come off of mute if you can and kind of engage. This is a time where we're going to engage, and I'm going to show you several ads, and I want you to think about what captures your attention. And if you're brave enough, I want you to say why it captures your attention. And these are the things that I really want you to think about as you are listening or looking at the ads that are running. There's absolutely nothing wrong with any of these ads, but some are just very nice ads, and some are ads that make people want to click on them to buy. Okay, so let's play the game, This or That. All right, so the first one, you have Closets by Design and you have California Closets. If you are looking at both of these and you're on social media, looking on Facebook, just scrolling through the pictures, which one of these do you say captures your attention and make you stop in your tracks in order to consider doing business with them? Anybody brave enough? Everybody's quiet. Okay. So a couple of things I will put out there. There are California Closet ad is very beautiful. It's crisp. It's very clean. It speaks to exactly what the closet can look like. If you can visualize your closet space looking like that. However, if I am not in the market to look for a closet, right? And that is not on my mind right now. I am just in the business of looking at my cute little nieces and nephews as they go off to school. The ad that pretty much stops me in my track is the one that says 40% off. That captures my attention. I want to click on that right now. And oh my goodness, I don't have the money for it right now, but it says special financing for up to 18 months. That makes me very compelled to click on that ad. And if I was in the market, maybe not today, but in the near future to get a closet, that makes me want to pick up the phone and call that particular company at that very moment. It also gives me a variety of different pictures, not just one picture. It shows me what my garage space can look like, my office space, my closet space, or my room. There are tons of different options, and it gives you all different types of information. And this is a very, very good ad. It's kind of busy, but the call to action is there, and it compels you to want to click on the ad and buy. All right, this or that. So we got ABC Roofing, and we got Mark Smith ABC Roofing. Okay, two different ads, right? Which one compels you to want to pick up the phone and call that customer today? A roof can be very expensive, right? I think the last time I got a quote, for my roof, it was, I believe, $12,000 to get my roof completely replaced, right? 10% off of $12,000 seems like a lot of money, right? If I'm in the market to get my roof done, I'm more likely going to call the ad that has 10% off versus just a free quote. I will tell you this. If you look at ads across all markets, everybody offers a free quote. That is not anything special. You can pretty much get any roofing contractor to come out to you and give you a quote or an estimate on repairing or replacing your roof. But a discount is not something that everybody offers, okay? So that is something that if you are advertising to any type of market, you may want to consider. All right, this or that. So you have Kingdom Roofing Systems, and you have Our Best Roofing Services. It just says roofers. So Kingdom Roofing Services has a ton of different options based off of your spend level. And then the other one, in my opinion, just gives you really nice information, right? Echo Design. And I'm not saying there is absolutely nothing wrong with either of these ads. Both of them gives a clear message. The message is clear across the board as to what they do, what they offer. You see pictures of a house. You actually can see, the end result of one of the houses on the right-hand side. There is absolutely nothing wrong. But if I am on social media browsing, this is what you have to ask yourself. Which one of these compel me to pick up the phone or to actually schedule an appointment to get the work done? Okay. This or that. So you have an auto repair shop. They bring the auto repair shop to you. Okay. Same company, two different ads. I'll let this one be rhetorical. Which one would you pick? If you're in the market of getting your brakes done, right? I may be compelled to call them because I don't have to take off from work to get my car repaired, and they're more than likely going to come to my house to do it. But if I kind of need my brakes done, this 20% offer is looking really, really good to me. And not all the time do you have to have an offer. But what I'm saying is when you're on different platforms, and the reason why that person is on that particular platform, keep in mind the messaging that you want to get across so that individuals are compelled to pick up the phone or schedule an appointment for them to do business with you. All right. This is a little different. There is no offer here. However, one is very interacting, if you will. How much does a new gutter cloth cost? And based off of your state, it can vary. That, for me, makes me just want to click on it just because. Also, if I'm in the market of getting my gutters done, more than likely, I would interact with that just to see. But the other one also has that they have financing available if you have a crack in your foundation. So a lot of it, like I said, there is no right or wrong way to advertise or to put your message out there. However, you do want to give consideration to things that are going to compel people to do business with you versus just a cute ad. That's what I typically say. It's a nice ad, but does it really make a person want to pick up the phone and call you at that particular moment if they're not in the business for it at that particular moment. We're going through a ton of these, this or that. Durante versus American Standard. Both have offers. However, one of the offers really jumps out at you and the other one is kind of drowned in the graphic. This is also an example of making sure that when you are using creative, that the creative stands out and jumps out at you and the individual doesn't have to look or search when they are looking for whatever it is that you're offering them. Okay. All right. So this is something that we covered in our last meeting. There are tons of things that you can do yourself. What I just educated you guys on, or what we just talked about as far as the ad copy, you do not have to be a graphic designer to create your own ads for social media. Okay, so there are things that you can do by yourself. You can update your Google My Business page. If you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. Any of this, if you have questions about it, feel free to reach out to myself or Robin Wells. Robin is our digital account specialist, and she is very educated on all of these things, all of these topics, and she can help you. Social media, you can add your own post. You can create your own ads for social media, pick your own audience. You can do all of that stuff yourself. It does not take a rocket scientist, and you don't have to be very special. I'm telling you that in order to do it. However, there are things that I suggest that you may or may not need help with. One of those is if you are in the market for getting a website, you may want to hire a website developer to do that. Your listings across all internet sites, making sure those consistent. SEO, and there's several other things as well that you may need help with as a business owner. And do know that the BBB is here to help you through that, right? We are here to consult with you. I talk to business owners almost every day, either reviewing proposals that they have with other marketing firms or setting up marketing strategies for them through the BBB, through our co-branded marketing strategies that we have here. Again, I wanted to remind you again about these webinars. They are hosted every third Thursday of each month. They are housed on bbb.org site. You can always visit them if you were not able to attend any of the webinars that have happened in the past. You can always go back and read those and look at those in order to make sure you're staying up to date on the content. And that is all. My name is Angela Morgan. I am the Vice President of Business Development at the Better Business Bureau. Our goal here is to make sure that our business owners are well educated and well versed on a lot of the topics that we cover here, and also give them the resources that is needed in order for them to be successful. I enjoy the feedback that I get from our business owners. And it helps me to shape some of these webinars that we're doing as we move forward with these. But these are something that I think is needed for sure. And we will continue to do these as long as you guys are engaged in them. So I believe there may be 2 questions that's out there. No? Okay. I saw two questions in the chat. If there is anyone that has a question, feel free to do so now. Otherwise, I will give you some of your time back if that is all. No questions? You guys are very quiet today. All right, well, this ends our webinar today. Again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. I will be more than happy to schedule a meeting with you in order to review any of the information or get you additional resources. Again, the BBB is here to help all of our accredited businesses be successful. And in the event you have questions, you can always reach out to me at any time. Thank you so much for attending, and I appreciate your time.